Happy Friday, everybody. We are back and with something a little different. I'm sitting here kind of listening to the snowstorm going on outside. Leroy continues to sleep through it, so all is well in the universe. Now, on to official business. We have a VR video response for Kanata383, who for a contest asked you to build through either rookie cards or autographs your all time NHL lineup. So it would be six starters and six backups. So I went through, all of the autographs that I had, and I was debating for a while to try to narrow it down to only two per position. Um, it was a struggle, but I kind of wanted to do a little interesting mix, and I think that this team would have turned out pretty good, and even threw in some coaches at the end, just because why not? Starting off just on the pile, we have the left wingers, and again, all of these autographs I got at one point through TTMs. So we have Bill Barber on the old Flyers. Flyers card, what year is that one? That is 70, 78. Nice old one. I think he was one of the first more vintage Hall of Famers I started getting back with actual cards. You'll see in a moment, but maybe a more modern one for the left wing. I went with Luc Robitaille on the Kings, and that's another thing. I got a pretty good selection of teams as well, and obviously some modern ones, and some cards you may have actually seen me show with other things before. On to the centers, I kind of went modern with who I think might be one of the best centers in the game right now, Mr. Connor McDavid, McJesus, however you want to say that. Say that. And when I sent him, if anybody's curious, I sent care of the Edmonton Oilers to get him. And these are in no particular order, obviously, because there's no way that anybody is going to be, starting ahead of the great one right here. And there are some autographs that I have that are too big. Quite a few autographed jerseys at an undisclosed location somewhere else. But that kind of narrowed it down because there was some other, there's Mario Lemieux, Sidney Crosby. I can hear Uncle Slappy raging through the ether right now. Moving on, goaltender, just because it's next on the stack. I went with the man who's still around, still a legend, Marc-Andre Fleury, in the proper uniform, and I am not afraid to admit it. Signed in silver on the netcam, great card, great human being, great goaltender. And then the other one I went with Mr. Grant Fuhr. Actually sent out to him on two separate occasions about a year and a half apart, and they both came at the exact same time. On to the defense. We've got... Actually, was that defense? What am I doing here? Why is defense? Oh, no. Nope, I stacked it wrong. I'm sorry. Then we have the right winger. This was when I was in a period when I didn't have a lot of old cards, so I was doing just custom cards that I printed out. We go one of the greatest mustaches in all of sports, Sorry Cole, Lanny McDonald, Hall of Famer, and just because recently in the news once again, that would be the ageless, just shy of his 51st birthday. I think he scored his 1099th career goal at the including international level, and he has more, I think, than Gretzky, because Gretzky did not play as many international years as Yager has and still is. But that was a great one to get. One of the best players I got to see regularly growing up. Now, defense-wise, another signed card and an absolute legend. Rest in peace, bud. And I always mispronounce his name. I think I can't even try to pronounce Bjorn Salming, but he was very kind enough a few years back to sign an index card for me. That would be defenseman number one, and I did four because there's two sides to the defense. Next, on the same vein of the vintage, we have Larry Robinson with the Habs, Love these. I loved these little cards. I cannot remember what year they were. Oh, yeah, the 1977 Topps little, I think they just called them photo card. Two of the more modern. Recently retired, and it was weird seeing him not in the Bruins uniforms. Zdeno Chara, and arguably one of the best American-born players of all time, Mr. Chelios. And just for final, I give this one the nod for the coaching, though it is on his player card, but he was a great coach up until, I think, very recently, maybe last year. Go Lindy Ruff for the coaching spot. And to wrap it up, the signed note card, Scotty Bowman, arguably the greatest coach in NHL history. So that, I guess, would be my ultimate starting lineup. Bill Barber, Luc Robitaille, Connor McDavid, the great one Wayne Gretzky, Marc-Andre Fleury, Grant Fuhr, Lanny the Mustache McDonald, Yager, Mr. Yager. That's the reason he's never going to go into the Hall of Fame, because he's never going to retire. But that's okay. Boris, Mr. Salming, I'm sorry, the name, Larry Robinson, Zdeno Chara, Chris Chelios, Lindy Ruff, and Scotty Bowman. Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. I'm really glad that he put that one out there, and that, I remembered to actually do it, because sometimes I write them down and then I forget, and after the time has passed. But that aside, thank you so much. Hopefully everybody has a great weekend, and we will see you soon with probably something equally as random and roughshod as this was.